Gurubhyo Namaha, Harihi Om, Namaste. So today we are in session 52 of the Sundarakandam learning series. In the 15th chapter, we have seen so far that after having entered the Ashokavana, Hanuman finally meets his objective. Finally, he catches sight of a lady who falls in the consideration set for being considered as Sita Mata. So he doesn't know yet for sure that she is Sita Mata. Rest of the Sarga is all about how he determines that she is Sita Mata. Okay, so how does she look? She looks beleaguered. She looks sad. Okay, she looks wasted, very thin. Okay, but at the same time, brilliant. Okay, covered in dust, yet brilliant. These are all contradictory, almost like an oxymoron, no, the description. But basically, the meaning we had discussed as in the last class, no one can completely cover or surpass or hide the beauty and brilliance of Mahalakshmi. She is the tattva that is ever resplendent. Whether she is in the form of Sita Mata, whether she is in the form of Kolhapur Mahalakshmi, whether she is in the form of the Lakshmi Devi, which we see in our temple, whichever form we see, whether she is there in the back of a cow, whether she is there in the semantry of a married lady, remember there also, wherever she is, there is beauty, auspiciousness and resplendence. Nothing can hide it. So, true to that, he finds that although initially she looks covered in dust, dirty in appearance, wearing a worn out garment, appearing wasted, appearing like a lotus pond without any blooming lotuses. These are Amangala kind of references, but the basic uh, uh, theme that underlines every observation of Hanuman is that, oh, she is still managing to shine brilliantly. She is still looking bright and beautiful, despite all the external trappings of worry, despair, etc. Okay, so now let's see the 19th shloka. ददर्श शुक्लपक्षादौ ददर्श शुक्लपक्षादौ चन्द्ररेखामिवामलाम् चन्द्ररेखामिवामलाम्. Have we finished this shloka also? I thought we had.
Up to 21 we finished.
21 we have finished, no? Correct, I thought so. Then we'll move forward. We chanted it, correct. Sorry, my fault. ग्रहेणाङ्गारकेणेव ग्रहेणाङ्गारकेणेव पीडितामिव रोहिणीं पीडितामिव रोहिणीं रोहिणीं, not rohineem, rohineem अश्रुपूर्णमुखीं दीनाम् अश्रुपूर्णमुखीं दीनां कृशामनशनेन च कृशामनशनेन च ग्रहेणाङ्गारकेणेव पीडितामिव रोहिणीं ग्रहेणाङ्गारकेणेव पीडितामिव रोहिणीम् अश्रुपूर्णमुखीं दीनां कृशामनशनेन च अश्रुपूर्णमुखीं दीनां कृशामनशनेन च together ग्रहेणाङ्गारकेणेव पीडितामिव रोहिणीम् अश्रुपूर्णमुखीं दीनां कृशामनशनेन च. So here, like in the previous shlokas, we have to add the verb dadarsha. Kaha dadarsha? Kabirajah dadarsha. Okay. Haripungavaha dadarsha. Saha Hanuman dadarsha. Hanuman saw. What did he see? Angarakena grahena piditam rohinim iva. Okay, this is one part. Second part. Ashrupurnamukhim Deenam Anashanena Krisham Striyam Dadarsha. We have to add the object Striyam because everything else is an adjective for the Stri. Okay, what are the adjectives? We first see the easy ones. Ashrupurnamukhi Stri. Ashru means tears. Purna means full. Face is mukha. So Ashru Purna Mukhi means one whose face was filled with tears. Deena means one who looked helpless. Anashanena Krisha. Krisha means one who had grown thin. Due to what? Anashanena, because she did not eat properly. Okay, why did she not eat properly? Obviously, out of Virahatapa, she is missing Rama, so she did not eat properly. Okay, Krisham Striyam, Tadarsha. So, what is the other reference? Angarakena Grahena Piditam Rohini Iva. This is a very common metaphor used by poets to describe the suffering of a woman. Okay, the woman wants to be with her beloved. In this case, Sita Mata wants to be with Lord Rama. In the case of Rohini, who is her beloved?
Moon.
Chandra. You all
Chandra.
know, not only is Chandra Rohini's beloved, who is Chandra's beloved? Rohini, which is why Chandra got into trouble. Because of all the nakshatras, 27 of them, they were Daksha's younger daughters. Sati was married to Shiva. All these taras, all these younger daughters were married to Chandra. Chandra and Shiva therefore claimed brother-in-law status relationship. Now, among the stars, Chandra spends 2 days in Rohini. Extra time in Rohini. Okay, so the other stars felt put out. So they complained to Daksha Prajapati, who then told Chandra, if this is how you're going to show partiality, I will not have allowed you to marry all my daughters. I would have given you only one wife. He said, sorry, I will change my ways. Went back, continued to do the same thing. The rest of them, 26 of them, went and complained, saying this is not done again and again, only to Rohini. So what did Daksha Prajapati do? He cursed Chandra, saying that from now on, because you have shown partiality only to one wife and not the others, it is a big sin. So you will be cursed with my curse that you will be always Krisha, you will always be waning. Now that means the Chandra will waste away completely. We will not have a moon in the sky. So Chandra went and pleaded to Lord Shiva to take away or to reduce the impact of the curse. So Shiva said, don't worry, I will wear the wasted moon on my jata. And you will be cursed with a waning period only for half the lunar cycle, and the rest of the lunar cycle you will grow back to your full brilliance. So the whole purpose of the story is to show that just like how Sita Mata was irrevocably attached to Rama, and Rama likewise to Sita Mata, in the same way here, Rohini is completely attached to Chandra and Chandra is attached to Rohini. In the case of Sita Mata and Rama, who's the villain? Ravana. In the case of Tara, there is Rohini, and Chandra, who's the villain? Angaraka. The Mars planet is said to be one big fat thing that comes between the moon and Rohini and thereby stops them from being together. Okay, so even they have their share of sorrows. Okay, so what is happening to her, Rohini? She is Pidita. She is suffering because his Angaraka, unasked for guest, is coming between her and her husband. So, in the same way, the reference here is, in the same way, Sita Mata was thus tormented by this unwanted Ravana who came between her and her husband. Okay, so that is the reference here. And you will find often to show the viraha or to show the viraha tapa of a woman, this reference is used. How grahena pidita rohini niva. Like that, it is used to describe the heroine of many stories. Okay, so we find, of course, this is Adi Kavya, so Maharishi Valmiki started it off. After that, you will find Kalidasa, we will find many other Kavis using the same metaphor to describe a woman separated from her beloved. Okay, so having seen this meaning, we will move forward. शोकध्यानपरां दीनां नित्यं दुःखपरायणां प्रियं जनमपश्यन्तीं पश्यन्तीं राक्षसीगणम् पश्यन्तीं राक्षसी गणम्. शोकध्यानपरां दीनां नित्यं दुःखपरायणां शोकध्यानपरां दीनां नित्यं दुःखपरायणां प्रियं पश्यन्तीं राक्षसीगणम् प्रियं पश्यन्तीं राक्षसीगणम् together शोकध्यानपरां दीनां नित्यं दुःखपरायणां प्रियं पश्यन्तीं राक्षसीगणम्. Okay, so Striyam Dadarsha. Saha Kapiraja Hanuman Striyam Dadarsha. He saw this woman. We have to add these words. Then what kind of a woman? Description of the woman are given by all the other adjectives. Shoka Dhyana Param. Nityam Dukkha Parayanam. Deenam. Priyam Janam Apashyantim. Rakshasi Ganam Pashyantim. Striyam Dadarsha. What does it mean? Shoka Dhyana Para. One who was immersed in her sorrow caused by constant contemplation of her beloved with whom she is no longer joined, with whom she is no longer there. Okay, so one who is constantly dwelling on it. Nothing serves to distract her from her grief. Later we will see in the conversation between Sita Mata and Ravana what all temptations he throws in her path. Nothing shakes her mind which is fixed on Lord Rama. And this mind which is fixated on Lord Rama, while it gives her confidence and faith that she will be rescued by him, also is a source of sorrow. That is why Shoka Dhyana Para. Nityam Dukkha Parayana. Always she seems to be immersed in grief. Deenam. She appears helpless. Please notice everywhere I'm using the word appears helpless and not saying helpless. Because in the case of Sita Mata, what will it take for her? One curse. Because she is such a tapasvi, one curse, one show of her powers. Later we will see where all she herself says, I can show you my power, but I choose not to. And she'll tell why. And later she actually shows her powers. So you will find that she is capable, but she appears. So we must realize it is a role taken on by Mahalakshmi. Why has she taken on that role? One, to teach us a lesson. Two, also to give us hope. If she can be in that situation, we are constantly in many helpless situations in life. When I was helpless, didn't I come out of it, child? In the same way, you will also come out to give us that hope and reassurance. So even she has put herself in that situation. So appearing helpless. Then Priyam Janam Apashyantim. One who is not able to see her beloved people. Instead, what is she seeing? Rakshasi Ganam Pashyantim. One who is constantly seeing these Virupa, Vikruta Nayana, Ghora Mukha, who Rakshasis. Okay, so that's what she is seeing constantly. Let's go to the next one. Swaganena mrugim heenam swaganena mrugim heenam shvaganabhivritamiva नीलनागाभया जघनं गतयैकया स्वगणेन मृगीं हीनां श्वगणाभिवृतामिव स्वगणेन मृगीं हीनां श्वगणाभिवृतामिव नीलनागाभया वेण्या जघनं कथयैकया नीलनागाभया वेण्या जघनं गतयैकया together स्वगणेन मृगीं हीनां श्वगणाभिवृतामिव नीलनागाभया वेण्या जघनं गतयैकया. We must see the next shloka also to do the Anvaya. Let's take it. नीलया नीरदापाये नीलया नीरदापाये वनराज्यामहीमिव वनराज्यामहीमिव सुखार्हां दुःखसन्तप्तां सुखार्हां दुःखसन्तप्तां व्यसनानामकोविदाम् व्यसनानामकोविदाम् नीलया नीरदापाये वनराज्यामहीमिव नीलया नीरदापाये वनराज्यामहीमिव सुखार्हां दुःखसन्तप्तां व्यसनानामकोविदाम् सुखार्हां दुःखसन्तप्तां व्यसनानामकोविदाम् together नीलया नीरदापाये वनराज्यामहीमिव सुखार्हां दुःखसन्तप्तां व्यसनानामकोविदाम्. So the word you have to take here, saha kapihi dadarsha, triyam dadarsha, he saw. Everything else is adjective. Let's see. Saha kapihi vyasananama kovidam swaganena hinam from the previous shloka. Shwaganabhivritam avritam shwaganabhivritam mrigim iva jaghanam gataya ekaya neelanagabhaya Venya. Then from this shloka, Nilaya, Niradapaye, okay, sorry, Venya, Neelanagabhaya, Venya, Niradapaye, Nilaya, Vanarajya, Mahimiva, Sukharham, Dukka Santattam, Striyam, Vidarsha. Let's see the meaning. First is Vyasananam Akovidam. One who is, Kovida means what? One who is an expert. Okay, Vyasana refers to what? Sorrow. A Kovida means what? A person who is not an expert. Kovida means one who is an expert. A Kovida, Vyasananam, a Kovidam. A Kovida means one who is therefore not an expert, therefore one who is a novice. To what? She is a novice to sorrow and difficulties. Till she came to the forest, she had never ever in her life stepped into a forest. So much so, there is an incident in Ramayana only, that when she leaves the outer limits of Ayodhya, she asks Rama, have you come to the forest already? Because even that she doesn't realize, even the normal lands, the cultivated fields, beyond that, she thought this is the forest. To her, even that looked rough and wild. Okay, because she is used to nothing but living in the palace, being in the lap of luxury. Okay, so she is not used to going to the forest and all. But okay, she spent her time happily in the forest because Rama was there. But the moment she was separated from him, her sorrow was so great because she was never used to sorrow in her life. Everyone treated her like a great princess when she was in Mithila. Everyone treated her like a beloved queen in waiting when she was in Ayodhya. When she left Ayodhya, everyone shed tears. She was loved by all. Okay, so for such a person, being in the midst of such hostile people in a hostile environment filled her with sorrow because she was unused to it. That's why we took this shloka also. So because she is not used to such sorrow, how is she being described by Maharishi Valmiki? I'll move that to the previous slide so that we can see that also. Swaganena hinam. Bereft, therefore, of the people who admired, loved, respected, and cared for her. Swagana means her people. Hina means without, bereft of them. Shwaganabhi vritam. Mrigimiva. She is now compared to a delicate, beautiful doe. Mrigi means doe, like a doe. What kind of a doe? Shwaganabhi vritam. Filled with, or surrounded by dogs. So there is Anuprasa Alankara here. Swagana, Shwagana. It sounds as if it is rhyming, no? This is alliterative, right? This is called Anuprasa Alankara. Okay, this Anuprasa Alankara is used to convey a very nice meaning here. That bereft of her beloved people, she was instead like a innocent deer, doe, surrounded by hostile pack of dogs. By a hostile pack of dogs, namely here, all the Rakshasas and the Rakshasis who were tormenting her. Okay, I hope the meaning is clear. Then, Jaghanam Gataya Ekaya Neelanaga Bhaya Venya. Veni means braid of hair. As a queen, how would she have worn her hair? Not like in one single plait, no. She would have done all kinds of, she would have had a whole retinue of maid servants. Some of their only job would be to dress her hair and make her look beautiful. Some to take care of her ornaments, some to take care of her clothes, some to take care of her overall appearance, some to help her with her bath. This kind of a luxurious life she led. So, but her hair now, how did it look? One single plait. The single plaited hair, how did it look? Eka Veni, Venya. And how was that Veni? Ekaya Venya, single plait. Neelanaga Abhaya. Neelanaga Abhaya. Abha refers to brilliance or shining. How did it shine? It shone like a black serpent. Her hair was so glossy and dark that it was shining like a black serpent. After being there for 10 months without washing her hair, still Maharishi Valmiki describes her hair as shining brilliantly like a black serpent, because it is Mahalakshmi's hair, not your hair and mine. Like, God knows, we won't even have hair on our head left if we don't bathe for 10 months. But she, long, glossy, thick hair, shining like a black serpent, says Maharishi Valmiki. Okay, and then how did it look? Jaghanam Gataya. Not one bit of its length or thickness had been lost. It went all the way to her hips. Long hair. Okay, but usually this long hair, be it thick, beautiful, whatever, this long single plaited hair is again used to convey sorrow. Because she doesn't have time to dress her hair or look beautiful or anything. All she is being sad. All she's feeling is sorrow because she's separated from Lord Rama. So even this Ekaveni is a moving reminder of the fact that she is missing her Lord. Okay, so that is how it should be understood. Then we come to Neelaya, Neeradapaye. Next shloka, no, that is one. I will take that slide and then I will point out the words. Neeradapaye Neelaya Vanarajya Mahimiva. Okay, Neeradapaye refers to at the end of the rainy seasons. Neerada, Neera, water, that which gives. Paya, the time where water is being given. What is that season? Rainy season. At the end of the rainy season. Okay, what was happening? Neelaya Vanarajya Mahimiva. Mahim refers to earth. She looked like the earth at the end of the rainy season. How is the earth being described? Neelaya Vanarajya. With a range of forests, okay, that is tinged in black. Because there's so much excessive watering causes the leaves to darken, I suppose. So the leaves are all looking dark, green. So she looked like that. This description is also of her hair. Her hair looked dark like the long fringe of greenery on earth at the end of the rainy season. Okay, so this is how she appeared. Then, Sukharham Dukkha Santaptam, one who is always deserving of happiness. How is she? Dukkha Santapta, constantly tormented by sorrow. Santapta, tapta means tormented, being burnt. Santapta means being burnt well, tormented. By what? Dukkha, by sorrow. Vyasanana Kovidam, we already saw that word. Okay, one who is unused to sorrow. Tam Striyam Dadarsha, that woman he saw. He still hasn't, he suspects, he hopes and prays that it is Sita Mata, but he still hasn't made up his mind. See, unlike in the previous instance where he, without thinking, just jumped up and kissed his tail and was excited, here he's still observing, still taking things into account about her, still, using his analytical mind to see who could she be. Okay. Tam dadarsha Vishalakshim. Tam dadarsha Vishalakshim. Adhikam Malinam Krisham. Adhikam Malinam Krisham. Tarkayamasa Siteti. Tarkayamasa Siteti. Karanairupapadibhihi. Karanairupapadibhihi. Tam dadarsha Vishalakshim. Adhikam Malinam Krisham. तां ददर्श विशालाक्षीम् अधिकं मलिनां कृशां तर्कयामास सीतेति कारणैरुपपादिभिः तर्कयामास सीतेति कारणैरुपपादिभिः together तां ददर्श विशालाक्षीम् अधिकं मलिनां कृशां तर्कयामास सीतेति कारणैरुपपादिभिः. Verb is tarkayamasa. He inferred. Okay, the word tarka comes from the dhatu tarka. Okay, which means to infer or to analyze and draw a conclusion. Okay, so Vishalakshim adhikam malinam krisham tam samikshya or tam dadarsha here, no? Tam dadarsha upapadibihi karanaihi Sita iti tarkayamasa. The subject is missing. We have to say Saha Hanuman. Okay, Hanuman tarkayamasa. What did he? So there are two verbs here. Dadarsha, he saw, and then he inferred. What did he see? Tam, that. Vishalakshi, one with long, broad, beautiful eyes. Adhikam, excessively. Malinam, Malinam refers to one who is looking soiled because she is not bathed, she is looking very dirty. Krisham, one who is wasted in appearance, one who has lost a lot of weight. Tam, her. Dadarsha, he saw. Then, Upapatibihi, with logical inferences. Karanaihi, with reasons. These are in Tritiya Vibhakti Bahuvachanam. So we should add the word in the phrase with reasons, with logical conclusions or inferences. Sita iti, that she is Sita. Tarkayamasa, he inferred. So what are the logical inferences? One which is implied here is that he saw that she is indeed very beautiful. She is Vishalakshi. And then that she is not only beautiful, she is not looking happy, that he's just described, and also that she has become excessively thin. She is not bathed for many months. She looks like she is very, very, very sad, missing somebody dreadfully. So he thinks this must be Sita. Okay, he still doesn't conclude finally. He still continues to think. One second, let me move the slide. Hriyamana tadatina Hriyamana tadatina Rakshasa kamarupina Rakshasa kamarupina Yatharupa hi drishta vai Yatharupa hi drishta vai Yatharupeya mangana Yatharupeya ह्रियमाणा तदा तेन रक्षसा कामरूपिणा ह्रियमाणा तदा तेन रक्षसा कामरूपिणा यथारूपा हि दृष्टा वै यथारूपेयमङ्गना यथारूपा हि दृष्टा वै यथारूपेयमङ्गना together ह्रियमाणा तदा तेन रक्षसा कामरूपिणा यथारूपा हि दृष्टा वै यथारूपेयमङ्गना तदा then कामरूपिणा तेन रक्षसा ह्रियमाणा यथारूपा दृष्टा इयम अंगना तथारूपा we have to add the word तथारूपा अस्ति she is of the same form what form तथारूपा अस्ति tada then kamarupina one who can take any form at will by such a person who by Ravana okay by Ravana who tera rakshasa by that rakshasa Ravana Hriyamana, one who was kidnapped or one who was abducted. Yatha Rupa Drishta, in the same form that she was seen. By whom? Not by him, by others. Based on the description given by Lakshmana, who last saw her. Okay, and then by Jatayu, as he was dying. By those people, okay, as she was seen. Iya Angana, this lady, Tatha Rupa, has the same form. Okay, Tatha Rupa Asti or Tatha Rupa Asti iti tatyamasa, he inferred. So he was convinced that the woman must be Sita in her true form based on what he had heard from the others. Okay, so here the pramana that we call Shabda Pramana comes into play. Based on the words of others, we understand something. So we see something based on the words of others. Say, for example, you have never seen a cow in your life. Okay, so somebody will tell you, or somebody will tell you there is an animal called a cow. That animal will give you milk. Okay, and it will have 2 horns and a long tail. So some description you hear. Only based on that description, there is no comparison given to something else. Then when you see a cow, you know it's a cow because of the description given by somebody. So when you take the words of someone and then identify Shabda Pramana. Okay. Then, or somebody says, okay, you don't know where a person is, but somebody else tells you that person is in Singapore. Then you go around telling others, oh, this person is in Singapore. How do you know? He told me. We all say this, no? Hey, we studied together. Where is that boy? You'll ask another person. That person will tell you, oh, he's in Singapore. Then when you meet other friends in your alumni meet, you will tell them, oh, yeah, he's in Singapore, as if you have personally seen him in Singapore. But who actually saw him in Singapore or who actually knows that he's in Singapore? Your friend who told you that he's in Singapore. Shabda Pramana, somebody's words. So those words of whom now Lakshmana, etc., convinced him that, oh, the appearance seems to be like her only, no. But he's still not very sure because women look like women. Beyond that, what can you see? Exceedingly beautiful women look like exceedingly beautiful women. The signs are sorrow, being dirty, that she's not had a bath, and the fact that she looks to be effulgently beautiful. Okay, now he'll think of more logical reasons. He doesn't leave it there. Purnachandrananam subhrum, Purnachandrananam subhrum, Charu vrittapayodharam, Charu vrittapayodharam, Purvatim prabhaya devim, Purvatim prabhaya devim, Sarvaviti miradishaham, Sarvaviti miradishaham, Purnachandrananam subhrum, Charu vrittapayodharam, Purnachandrananam subhrum, Charu vrittapayodharam, Purvatim prabhaya devim, Sarvaviti miradishaha, Purvatim prabhaya devim, Sarvaviti miradishaha. Together. Purnachandrananam subhrum, Charu vrittapayodharam, Purvatim prabhaya devim, Sarvaviti miradishaha. These are all general signs of a beautiful woman. Let's see. Purnachandrananam subhrum, Charu vrittapayodharam, Sarvaha Dishaha Prabhaya Vitimiraha Purvadim Striyam Tadarsha. So Purna Chandrananam, one whose face, Anana means face. Purna Chandra, full moon. One whose face is like the full moon. Subhrum, one with beautiful eyebrows. 12 months, 10 months of no threading and the eyebrows look amazingly beautiful. Okay, Subhru, one with beautiful eyebrows. Charu Vritta Payodhara, one with a beautiful Sthana Bhaga. Charu, beautiful, Vritta, well endowed, Payodhara, Sthana Bhaga. Sarvaha Dishaha, all the directions. Prabhaya, with her effulgence. Vitimiraha, free from darkness. Timira, darkness. Vitimira, no darkness. Kurvatim, one who is doing. The thing is, despite her, you know, the slimness, because she's being wasted because of not eating food, despite all that, she's glowing. And the glow is so much that if you actually look at her carefully, she seems to be spreading her light in all directions, despite being in a dark place. Remember, it is not even daylight yet. It's night time. Everything around is glowing, around her is glowing because she is there. Sarvadishaha prabhaya vitibraha kurvati. One who is doing this. Okay. Tam Darsha. That's three he saw. So he thinks, oh, this is must be the her, because this was the description given by Lakshmana about her. No, that is why it must be her. तां नीलकेशीं बिम्बोष्ठीं तां नीलकेशीं बिम्बोष्ठीं सुमध्यां सुप्रतिष्ठितां सुमध्यां सुप्रतिष्ठितां सीतां पद्मपलाशाक्षीं सीतां पद्मपलाशाक्षीं मन्मथस्य रतिं यथा मन्मथस्य रतिं यथा तां नीलकेशीं बिम्बोष्ठीं सुमध्यां सुप्रतिष्ठितां तां नीलकेशीं बिम्बोष्ठीं सुमध्यां सुप्रतिष्ठितां सीतां पद्मपलाशाक्षीं मन्मथस्य रतिं यथा सीतां पद्मपलाशाक्षीं मन्मथस्य रतिं यथा टुगेदर तां नीलकेशीं बिम्बोष्ठीं सुमध्यां सुप्रतिष्ठितां सीतां पद्मपलाशाक्षीं मन्मथस्य रतिं यथा. So Tam Devim. Okay, she who was shining, Tam Sitam, that Sita Mata. How was she? Neelakeshim, one with dark hair. Bimba Oshtim, Bimboshtim, okay, refers to her lips. How were the lips? Her lips were like the bimba fruit. How does a bimba fruit look? Bimba fruit looks red. Okay, so like we say, no, that kovai param in Tamil. Okay, like a ripe kovai param. Okay, that red color. Then bimboshti, sumadhyam, one with the madhya bhaga or the waist, which was slender. Sumadhyam means one who has a slender waist. Then supratishtitam, one who is well formed, well made. Her limbs were beautiful. Padma Palashakshim, one akshi, eyes, one with eyes like a lotus petal. Okay, beautiful eyes. Manmathasya Ratim Yatha, she appears like Manmatha's Rati only. Manmatha's Rati is very beautiful, no? So she appears like her. So it must be her, because this is how she was described by the others. So she must be Sita Mata, thinks Hanuman. Ishtam sarvasya jagataha, Ishtam sarvasya jagataha, Purnachandra prabhamiva, Purnachandra prabhamiva, Bhumau sutanumasinam, Bhumau sutanumasinam, Niyatamiva tapasim, Niyatamiv tapasim, Ishtam sarvasya jagataha, Purnachandra prabhamiva, Ishtam sarvasya jagataha, Purnachandra prabhamiva, Bhumau sutanumasinam, Niyatamiv tapasim, Bhumau sutanumasinam, Niyatamiv tapasim. Together. Ishtam sarvasya jagataha, Purnachandra prabhamiva, Bhumau sutanumasinam, Niyatamiv tapasim. Purnachandra prabham iva. Sarvasya jagataha ishtam. Okay. Niyatam. Tapasim. Iva. Bhumau Asinam. 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 Sutanum. Dadarsha. We have to add. Saha Dadarsha. Sutanum Striyam Dadarsha. Okay. What kind of Stri? What kind of a lady? Purna Chandra Prabham Iva. One who had the effulgence. Prabha refers to effulgence. Effulgence of the full moon. Okay. One with the effulgence of the full moon. Sarvataha. Sarvasya Jagataha Ishtam Striyam. Sarvasya Jagataha, of the entire world. Ishtam, one who is dear, one who is the favorite, one who is beloved. Niyatam, Tapasim, Iva, like a self-controlled ascetic. Because why? She was not eating, she was not enjoying any sense pleasure, she was sitting there sad in appearance, but she looked niyata, controlled, self-controlled. Bhumau Asina, seated on the ground. It is not like Ravana would have refused her a chair. If she had but been willing to sit on it, he would have given her anything to sit on. But what did she choose to sit on? On the bhumi only. Because for her, even sitting on that bhumi was wrong. Okay, so that bhumi shayana, bhumi asina, all these is said to be the marks of a person who has undertaken a vow that no pleasures for me. I am doing tapasya. Till I find Lord Rama, I will not enjoy anything. No food for me, no costly bed, no costly dress, no ornaments, nothing. I will be on the floor only. I'll be on the ground only. So she was sleeping on the ground, sitting on the ground. Okay, only on the ground. Bhumo asina. Sutanam, one with a beautiful form. That's Sriyam, Tadarshatam Sriyam, that's Tam Sriyam, that woman he saw. So he thought, okay, this must be her only, because look at her. She's so effulgent, she's so beautiful, but where is she sitting? On the ground? Okay, and looking very self-controlled and looking sad also. Let's move on. Um, Nishwasa Bahulam Bhirum Bhujagendravadhumiva Bhujagendravadhumiva Shokajalena Mahata Vitatena Narajati Vitatena Narajati निःश्वासबहुलां भीरुं भुजगेन्द्रवधूमिव निःश्वासबहुलां भीरुं भुजगेन्द्रवधूमिव शोकजालेन महता विततेन नराजतीं शोकजालेन महता विततेन नराजतीं निःश्वासबहुलां भीरुं भुजगेन्द्रवधूमिव निःश्वासबहुलां sorry together so second line शोकजालेन महता विततेन नराजति. Sorry, I was distracted because I was thinking of the Bhumi Asana and I realized one more point. If you realized about Sita Mata, she came from the Bhumi. She was found in the furrow of the flow when Janaka was tilling the land. How did she go back? Through the Bhumi only. When she was, when after Lava and Kusha were handed over to Rama and she felt she had discharged her responsibilities, okay, there was a high likelihood that she could have gone back to Rama and lived with him as the empress. But what did she choose? She said, no, the purpose of my birth has been served. And so she goes back to where she came from. So for her, she is Bhuma Devi. Lakshmi Devi is Bhuma Devi. Correct? So her place of comfort and her adhishtana or her form is the Bhumi. Okay, so that is where she is closest to. So she goes back to there. And if at any point, because you will see later that she wants to take her own life. Okay, there we will discuss what method she tried and then what happened. If she had gone through the Bhumi, she would have gone. Because for her, the Bhumi was ever willing to take her back, ever willing to be the channel for her to leave the body. Okay. But here, the Bhumi is the place which gives her maximum comfort and it is her Adhishtana, so to speak. So she is there, and she is in the form of Bhuma Devi. And if you look at the Mahalakshmi Tattvam also, why Bhumi is very important, why Earth is very important, I'll explain that also. It's an interesting side point, but I'll still get into it for 2 minutes. See, if you see Mahalakshmi Tattvam, there are 5 Mahabhutas, right? Prithvi, Ap, Tej, Vay, Akash. Of which the most gross one is the Earth element. Earth element is closely linked to Mahalakshmi. You know why? Because she is a goddess of preservation. For preserving, what do you need? Wealth. Where does wealth appear from? In the form of metals, in the form of precious stones, gold, everything. Where is it found? On earth. Where does the water flow to sustain everyone? On earth. Where do trees grow to feed everyone? On earth. Everything, therefore, that is concrete and is meant for nourishing. That's why Pushtihi is one nama of her in Lakshmi Ashtotram we have seen. Right? Pushti. So what is the meaning of that? In Pushti comes also, I think. Lalita Sastamam also it comes, I think. Pushti Varma. What is the nama? I forgot. Radhaji, you had your hand raised.
Just what came to my mind is, இப்போ இந்த ஆகாஷாத் வாயு அதெல்லாம் all tattvas are there in earth. Earth has everything, no, even though
Qualities
that
of all the
also
5 are on earth.
so that is what came to my mind.
Correct. And everything is finally on earth only. So, and why? And earth is a place where all the atmas have been put with an embodied form in order to work out their karmas. So this is the place where she has to play and protect us. So the earth element is irretrievably linked to Mahalakshmi. That is why for her, she comes from the Bhumi. And wherever you find her being found by rishis, just think of that, all the stories. Where is she found? In one nice lotus. Where is that lotus? On a pond. All the tattvas are involved in that lotus in the pond, by the way. Prithvi, Ap, Tej, Vay, Akasha. If you notice, every tattva, every bhuta is there in the lotus. And where she is found. So she is like a gift of the elements to mankind in order to sustain and preserve us and protect us. So that's how she chooses to appear. She comes in a tulsi plant, she comes in a lotus, she comes in the furrow of the earth. This is how she comes to earth. So the Mahalakshmi Tattva itself is irretrievably linked to earth because earth only nourishes man. It is the place where man gets redemption. It's a place where man gets mukti. So because of that, man, women, everybody, all the atmas get mukti, and therefore she is from the earth. So coming back to this shloka meaning, Birum Bhujagendra Vadhumiva Nishwasa Bahulam Mahata Vitatena Shokajalena Narajati. One who was not shining. Tam Striyam Dadasha. That woman he saw. One woman, why she was not shining? Why was she not shining? Bhirum. Like she was a timid lady. She appeared timid. Okay. Bhujagendra Vadhum Iva. Like the wife of the serpent king. Nishwasa Bahulam. One who was hissing constantly. Now, can anyone touch the wife of the serpent king? First of all, nobody can go near a big serpent, right? How will the serpent king's wife be? Protected by all the serpents, number one. Two, very large and powerful in size. Quite scary. So similarly, she is also like that. She cannot be touched by anyone. It is that Adhava Rakshasa Ravana who's managed to abduct her. Okay. So like a wife of a serpent king that has been kept captive, what will that serpent king's wife do when it is kept captive? It will keep hissing to show its power and strength and to tell that, hey, don't you dare come near me. In this case, her hisses were like sighs of sorrow. Rama saw there. Each sigh sounded like the hiss of the serpent king's wife. This is a comparison made by. Okay, comparison. Iva word is there. Upama alakara. Comparison made by Valmiki Maharishi. Mahata vitatena. With a great, widely spread shoka jala, net of grief. It is like she has been captured in a net of grief. Because of that, she was not shining. She appeared outwardly not to be shining. That's how we must understand. We just saw by her prabha, what was she doing? She was illuminating all the directions. How can such a lady appear not shining? If you ask that question, what you must understand is externally she appeared not shining, whereas her true nature was such that it was her who was the effulgence spreading light not only in Ashokavana, in the entire Lanka, not only in the entire Lanka, in the entire universe. That is her true nature. Okay, that is why Valmiki Maharishi says, Sarvaha Dishaha Avitiviram Kurvati. Okay, but here When he says arajatim, narajatim, what he means is externally she was not appearing as if she was shining. I hope the difference in meaning is clear. Right? No? You want me to explain anything? Clear, huh? You have doubts, ask. Okay, I'll move forward.
Ma'am, Bhirum, what's the meaning, ma'am?
Timid. Appearing timid.
Thank you.
Timid. Okay, shy. Why? Because timid because of fear. Timid not because of laja or shyness. Timid because of fear. Okay, bhi is the cause. Bhi means what? Fear only. Bhiru means one who's timid because of fear. Next. Sansaktam dhoomajalena. Sansaktam dhoomajalena. Shikhamiva vibhavasoho. Shikhamiva vibhavasoho. Tam smritimiva sandigdham. Tam smritimiva sandigdham. Riddhim nipatitamiva. Riddhim nipatitamiva. Sansaktam dhoomajalena. Shikhamiva vibhavasoho. Sansaktam dhoomajalena. Shikhamiva vibhavasoho. Tam smritimiva sandigdham. Riddhim nipatitamiva. Tam smritimiva sandigdham. Riddhim nipatitamiva. Together. Sansaktam dhoomajalena. Shikhamiva vibhavasoho. Tam smritimiva sandigdham. Riddhim nipatitamiva. Now, more about her appearance, which is not physical, but the intent or the impression conveyed by her appearance is being talked of by Valmiki Maharishi. Okay, what is he saying? Dhoomajalena sansaktam vibhavasoho shikhamiva. Exactly same we have seen before also. Dhoomajalena sansaktam. Dhoomajala, cloud of smoke. Sansakta, covered. One who is covered by a cloud of smoke. When you're covered by a cloud of smoke, you're obscured. You don't shine. Okay. Vibhavasoho shikhamiva. Like the flame of a fire, which is covered by a cloud of smoke. Okay. Vibhavaso. Vibhavasu refers to fire. Vibhavasoho, sashti vibhakti, of the fire. Fire of what of the fire? Shikha. Like the flame of a fire. So like how the flame of a fire is obscured by a this one of smoke, by a cloud of smoke. In the same way, she who is usually shining brilliantly seemed to be obscured by a cloud of malina, by a cloud of sorrow, things like that. Okay. Then other definitions or other comparisons are all abstract from now on. Okay. How did she look? Sandigdham smritimiva. Nipatitam riddhimiva tadarsha. What does it mean? We'll see and try to understand. Smriti refers to memory. Correct? Smriti has two meanings. One meaning is memory. What is the other meaning? Who can tell me?
Vedas, ma'am.
No, not Vedas. Something close to it. What is it? Vedas are called Shruti because it is heard, oral. So what is Smriti? What is Smriti? You know, you've scripted so many Smritis. Come on, tell me.
Should
Like
come
an
at the right
intellect.
time, ma'am.
Tell me, Ramji, tell me.
Like an intellectual.
Smriti refers to granthas which tell us how to live life, which interpret the Vedas for daily living, like Manusmriti, Yagyavalkya Smriti, those. Okay, so what do they basically contain? They contain rules for living. You should wake up at so and so time. This is how you should treat your wife. This is how you should treat your husband. This is how you should treat your teacher. This is how you should study. Some things at least, people, they malign Manusmriti so much, thinking Manusmriti is outdated, it doesn't respect women. These statements are made by people who have not read Manusmriti. I can write and give you. Please read it, you will know for yourself what it says, how we should. It has so many quotes which say in a house where a woman is disrespected, there will be no Shri, it is a wrong thing to do. So many quotes like these. Okay, but now coming back to not defense of Smritis anymore, but coming back to the explanation here. Sandigdham smritimiva. Two ways we can interpret it. Sandigdha means doubtful. Okay, that which has a doubt. Doubtful. Doubtful smriti. What does that mean? Okay, I'll explain. One in from the meaning of memory. You have learned, okay, this is especially for Suti, it's the only child here. You have learned 100 pages for your science exam. You see one question which comes from some random page. You don't know which page it is. Now your memory should serve you perfectly and tell you, oh, this question is from friction chapter, or this question is from force chapter, or this question is from gravity chapter. If your memory confuses you and says, oh, no, this is not from any of these chapters, this is from some other chapter, and you do solve the problem wrongly with the wrong formula, what happens? Marks gone. So like a doubtful memory. What will a doubtful memory do? It will cause problems for us. It will give up on us. When we need help most at the time of the exam, we'll forget. Same and not only exam. You forget whether you put salt to the sambar. Your smriti has led you astray. Okay, what will happen? You'll either put salt twice or you'll have a sambar without salt. Both outcomes not to be desired. Correct? So if your memory is doubtful, it leads you to trouble. This is one meaning. Another meaning is, smriti tells you how to live your life. But if it doesn't, if the meaning of the words in the smriti is not clear and you have doubts, okay, suppose it says, at the Sandhya Kala, you should wake up. And you decide to take the Sandhya instead of morning Sandhya as evening Sandhya. Then what will happen? Problem, no? So, Smriti should tell you very clearly. Prata Sandhya. Okay, like that, if it tells you, you know, okay, morning Sandhya, I should wake up. So, like this, if the Sandhya, if the word Sandhya conveys many meanings, or if the statement is not clearly told, then it can lead to problems. So she looked like that. So how will a person who has lost some portion of her memory or who is not sure of how to interpret a statement from the Smritis, how will she look? Confused. That confusion will lead to helplessness. So that is why Valmiki says one who looks like Sandigdham Smriti, one who looks like doubtful memory or doubtful edict of how to live your life. Okay, then Nipatitam Riddhim. Okay, Nipatita literally means fall. Here to be taken as decreased. Riddhi means wealth, like decreased wealth. She looked like wealth which had decreased. What is the meaning of wealth which has decreased? Why does wealth usually decrease? This is not from Ramayana. Anybody can answer. Why does wealth decrease? Not because Lakshmi Devi left, because you do something foolish also. What
When used, destroyed.
Not used. Used is also use. You keep using. Will it decrease? You do use it for. Okay, no. Let me not answer it with another question. Let me still wait for another answer, which will get us closer to the answer. Why does wealth decrease? Decrease doesn't go away, reduce significantly, decay, get lost. I'll give an example. Say Dhirubhai Ambani built one big company called Reliance. It was handed over to two of his sons, Mukesh Ambani and Anil Ambani. Both of them are running their sections of the company. You know which company, which section is doing better, which section is not. And then now they're going to hand over to their next generation. How do you know which part of the three children of Mukesh Ambani will run it well? Whether the children of Anil Ambani will do better or not, we don't know. Wealth may decrease, especially in family businesses. We know that wealth tends to get run down. Why?
Mismanaged.
Please, she's the only one disciplined enough to raise her hand. So let me ask.
Ma'am, when it's used in adharmic ways.
Perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. When it is
I
used,
heard someone say it, but that was also in my mind. I heard someone say it now, but exact words were in my mind, ma'am.
okay, perfect. It is when it is used in an adharmic way. So adharma leads to loss of wealth. Here she is Shri. She is embodiment of wealth. What is causing her to look lost? Adharma, namely Ravana. One who is being abducted by Ravana is like the adharma that causes your own personal wealth to decrease or anybody's personal wealth to decrease. And therefore, she is being compared to Nipatitam Riddhim. She is a personification of Riddhi. She looks like reduced Riddhi because she was subject to adharma. Because of adharma. Adharmena Nipatitam. We should add the words. The Bhashyakara, namely Shiromani Bhashyakara, does this beautiful comparison here and says Adharmena Nipatitam Riddhim is a word he uses here specifically to say that it is why she looked as if she was sad. Okay. Then earlier also we have seen the Vibhavasu Shikam. She is compared to fire to denote her chastity. We've seen it before also. Aarti ji, your hand was raised.
So far Hanuman was inferring about Sita with her physical characteristics. So this Smriti reference and wealth reference is more of a
Mental state.
mental. Yeah,
So
okay.
confusion, helplessness, loss of her effulgence in the sense of perceptive, outward loss of her effulgence. Okay, don't take it as herself has reduced. No, she is true to her nature. She is effulgence. She is supreme light. She is pure consciousness. She is Ambal. There is no, she is Mahalakshmi. There is no reduction of her glory. But she appears as if there is a reduction in her glory. It is the appearance that Sita Mata presents. So we must always draw a distinction between the one with form and the formless. Correct. The one with form appeared as if she had lost her effulgence because she was subject to adharma. So
and Hanuman is trying to infer all this with his intellectual capacity.
Yes, because
this is Sita. Okay.
First he studied all her physical traits. Any of these would have matched Mandodari. Except for the fact that he keeps noticing she's looking sad, she's not looking happy, she's looking beset with sorrow, she's not eaten properly, she looks like a celibate ascetic, she doesn't look like a queen on whom all the wealth and love is lavished. So these things are reassuring to him. So the physical description is accompanying her state of sorrow. Now he looks at her deeper into her appearance in sense of her mental state, not just her physical state. She is looking as if she's oppressed, like how forgotten memories, like how, or other lost memory, which is not there when you need it, that kind of memory, or like wealth which is reduced by dharma. Those kind of inferences are now next few shlokas are that only.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Okay, then we'll see the 757. Wow. We'll see one more shloka and then close. विहतामिव च श्रद्धाम् विहतामिव च श्रद्धाम् आशां प्रतिहतामिव आशां प्रतिहतामिव सोपसर्गां यथा सिद्धिं सोपसर्गां यथा सिद्धिं बुद्धिं सकलुषामिव बुद्धिं सकलुषामिव अभूतेनापवादेन अभूतेनापवादेन कीर्तिं निपतितामिव कीर्तिं निपतितामिव विहतामिव च श्रद्धाम् आशां प्रतिहतामिव विहतामिव च श्रद्धाम् आशां प्रतिहतामिव सोपसर्गां यथा सिद्धिं बुद्धिं सकलुषामिव सोपसर्गां यथा सिद्धिं बुद्धिं सकलुषामिव अभूतेनापवादेन कीर्तिं निपतितामिव अभूतेनापवादेन कीर्तिं निपतितामिव टुगेदर विहतामिव च श्रद्धाम् आशां प्रतिहतामिव सोपसर्गां यथा सिद्धिं बुद्धिं सकलुषामिव अभूतेनापवादेन कीर्तिं निपतितामिव. So vihatam shraddham iva. Okay, vihata, lost, that which is lost. Well, shraddha, hope, faith. Okay, so she looked like lost hope. This is an abstract description. You should not say she looked hopeless. She looked like hope that was lost. Personification. She is the personification of hope that is lost. Understand? So it's not a direct, she looks like she has lost hope. No, no, no. If lost hope were to take a human form, it is her form. She looked like lost hope. How will lost hope look? Sad, no. Overall, she looked hopeless, sad. Okay. Again, not to take as she looked hopeless, but in the sense of she looked like Hope that is lost. Then pratihatam asham iva. Here the word hope, faith, both are given for Shraddha. Asha also means hope. But here the word Asha is used to mean desire. This is what the commentator says. Tilaka commentary. Pratihata, the entire commentary, whatever I'm explaining, is based on Tilaka and Shiromani. Pratihatam Asham Iva. Pratihatam, obstructed. Bihata, Pratihata. Both use the same dhatu. Upasarga is different. Be, Prati. Both being the same, obstructed. Okay, obstructed what? Desire. She looks like desire that has not been granted. She looks like desire that cannot be achieved. Okay, take any desire. Say you know for a fact that the desire cannot be achieved. Then how will that desire look? In human state, if it was to be, it would look like Sita Mata then. Sopasargam siddhim iva. Siddhi refers to an accomplishment. Something that you have achieved. Normally, when we achieve something, you want that to be free, unobstructed, and complete, right? Here, how did it look? Sopasargam siddhim. It looked like an inhibited accomplishment. Okay, as if not fully accomplished. It looked like an accomplishment that was partial alone, that was stopped by something. I'll give an example. You know how to ride a bicycle. You think you have the accomplishment of riding a bicycle. But every time you make a turn, you keep falling. Then do you have the accomplishment of riding a bicycle? No. Your siddhi is vitiated. Your siddhi is obstructed by your inability to turn comfortably. Right? Like that. Any siddhi, any accomplishment obstructed by some small thing which makes it less than perfect. She looked like that. And then Sakalusham Buddhim. Buddhi refers to intellect. Sakalusha. Kalusha refers to a mala or a Kalusha refers to impurity. Okay, so she looked like a vitiated intellect, an intellect that was not functioning perfectly. And what is the use of an intellect that does not function perfectly, right? So she looked like a vitiated buddhi. Abhutena apavadena nipatitam kirtimiva. Abhutena apavadena. Abhutena, by false. Apavadena. Apavada refers to rumor. Any kind of a negative talk. By unfounded rumors and negative talk, like how nipatitam kirtim, like how fallen fame will look, she looked. She was the personification of fallen fame, which had fallen because of unfounded rumors and gossip. So all these basically netted to tell what that she looked extremely, her mental state was extremely sad. Okay, so these are the poetic comparisons made by Maharishi Valmiki based on what was running through Hanuman's mind. Okay, I hope that is clear. Two people have your hands raised. I'm sorry, I did not ask earlier. Rekha ji, why is your hand raised?
Ma'am, the previous shloka where she was described as decreased wealth, ma'am. So the one who performs adharma, their wealth will be decreased, no ma'am. So it should be Ravana, no ma'am.
Wealth is an object. Performing adharma is a karma, as a kriya. Performer of the adharma is the karta, somebody else. Somebody actively performs adharma. The wealth reduces because of it. Here Ravana is the doer. His adharmic act of abducting Sita Mata is the act. And Sita Mata is the object, the wealth. She is the one who has been abducted because of adharma. Just like she has been abducted by adharma, by Ravana, in the same way as how wealth is reduced by adharma. It's not a literal comparison. It is an abstract comparison. Like how wealth is reduced, she looked put out. She looked sad. She was upset because she looked like reduced wealth. Personification of reduced wealth. Same way, personification of lost memory. If you understand it like that, it becomes more clear. Okay. Yeah, Radha Bhagini, your hand is raised.
No, this sloka, the English English words are not corresponding to the Sanskrit one, Varsha.
Where?
In this screen, what you've got.
Now what have I released on the video? I have to worry about that now. Okay. Why did that happen?
Because I saw that, I just thought better to let you know.
I never see the English one. This is my problem actually. 1 minute. Let me just see if I can. Thank you so much for pointing it out. Now I can't do anything about the video that we have released. Next one and all is correct. Okay, then please take it as my clarification that this is wrong. Nothing is correct. No? Previous
everything is different. It's a different sloka.
One shloka mistake. Okay, so this text from the chanting guide, please ignore the English text and read only the Sanskrit text when you're hearing the chanting guide. Request to everyone. Apologies for this mistake. Okay, thank you, Ranavani. Okay, so we'll close today's session. Please stop the recording.